Hi, I am Claire. Welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I am going to be doing a Casita in The Sims 4. So, I was very inspired by the new Disney movie Encanto, as I'm sure many of us are, and so I decided to make a house where like the center of it is taken out, and so it's like kind of like a courtyard area in the center of the house. And this house is very big, and so there are a few things that I've already done before I started recording this, and I just want to apologize now because it's a longer video than I usually do. And so we just quickly finished up the like front area, like the entry area, and now we are in what I want to say the library for the abuela. And so I wanted there to be a lot of a big family, since this is a big house. And so on the main level of this area, there is a primary bedroom for a abuela or somebody who they need, like on the main level. Maybe it could be an aunt or an uncle. I'm sorry, I don't know the Spanish names for them, but we are just going to be going into the kitchen now. And so we had a little play tent from the Dream Home Decorator pack, because I thought like, oh, that's probably like going to be good, because like the only other play area is like right above the kitchen. So realistically, the grandma or like the parents can keep an eye on the toddler, even though you don't really need to keep it like a close eye on toddlers, but you still kind of need to keep a close eye on toddlers in this game. And so we are just going to be going into the dining room area. I thought, since this house is so big, I didn't really want to have like a bunch of little rooms, so the kitchen food area is just like one big room. And so now we are just going to be adding this toddler slide, but I actually replace it with a ball pit. And so we are just going to be adding some decorations in the kitchen. And so that slide actually gets moved up into the toddler's bedroom, and you'll see that at the very end of the video. But currently we are going to be doing the main floor primary bedroom, or the abuela's suite. And so I wanted this to be kind of pretty and pink for her. I'm using the bed from Jungle Adventure, and I'm just making this wall behind the bed gray, since the bed frame is white, and so I kind of wanted to break it up a little bit. And so now we are just going to be working on a little spot for the grandma to have some quiet time. And so I do have a lot of like yarn from the nifty knitting pack, and I do also have a cross stitching box for the grandma, because I just thought that'd be fun to add, since the grandma can like knit and make all her grandkids all of the things that they need. Probably not so much the teenagers anymore, but we do have a little like poster above the like yarn to kind of hide the banister, but I feel like it just draws it more to the problem instead of covering it up. So we are just going to be adding a little radio out into the kitchen, so the toddler can also gain some skills while the family is cooking together, maybe. And so we are just going to be working on this quick little powder room off the kitchen. And so now we are just going to be adding some things from the Parenthood pack, since this is a big family. I feel like the parents are like very family oriented. Like I made a whole entire space for the child and the toddler to have like a kid zone in a way. And I wasn't exactly sure like how exactly the family of this house become upon it. Probably not gifted by a magical candle, but maybe this is like a legacy challenge, like a 10 generation type challenge. And so now we are just going to be adding this like plant hanging thing. I'm like, oh, that's like so cool. It's like the grandma when she's like making her like special meals, she can like come over here and get some herbs, even though that looks more like decorational plants and not so much like herb plants. But I'm also not a plant expert, and so I'm just saying it's herbs in that hanging plant. And so this house is so big, I decided to give it an indoor pool. And I wanted to make sure there was a lot of like windows, but a lot of windows that didn't have like glass in them, because I was thinking realistically this would smell really bad to have like chlorine and like salt water and just like in an indoor space. Like I just didn't want to have that, and so I have a lot of windows that open up into the courtyard and out onto the other side of the house, just to make it seem a little bit more realistic in a way. And so now we are just kind of figuring out what to do with this corner of the pool area. I ended up making it kind of like a pool shack area with like another little pool, or another little half bath powder room, and then I have a lot of like towels for like everybody to like, this is like the towel room basically. And so now we are just going to be working on a shower, because I was trying to think realistically again, and like you probably want to like shower off, especially if there's a lot of like neighborhood kids that come to your house for maybe swim lessons or to play with your kids or the Sims kids. And so now we are on the second level, and this is the primary bedroom for the parents, and I'm going to be using the cottage living bed and nightstand. And I was thinking like, how would this kind of fit into like the story? And I was thinking one of the parents is probably from the country, and then they moved to Oasis Springs for family, and so that's kind of why this bedroom is a little bit not in the style of the rest of the house. And so now we are just going to be adding a little bit of modern light fixtures. I cannot do light fixtures in this game. It's kind of a weakness I have, is lighting, and like I'm just like, oh, just put a light on the side tables, that's good. Doesn't really need to be personalized. And so we are just going to be adding this picture from Seasons, and I thought that'd be kind of funny to put it by the window. So like when your Sims walk into that room, it's like, oh, I see two suns. And it's, I don't know, I was thinking like, oh, it's kind of be funny. It's like Star Wars where there's like multiple moons. And so now we are in the first teenager's room, and I was imagining this teenager to be a bro geek. Like they like, all right, yeah, I work out a lot. Here's all my pictures on Simstagram. But in real life, he doesn't really post that much about his love for all of these like sci-fi shows. And so we do also add a little desk for him to do his homework. I was just kind of imagining it would be for a boy, but you can have a girl sleep in this room as well. But I do have a girl's side of a girl's room, right, as you can see. Now I was thinking that this girl would be kind of like a bookworm and smart, and so I have this desk from the Dream Home Decorator pack, because it already had like books on it, so they're like a very straight A student. And so you're just going to kind of keep with the theme. I got the color for the chair with one of the books. Oh, sorry, I just like hit the mic. And so now we are just going to be using this bed from Seasons. I'm just trying to keep it light and airy, since the wallpaper I chose is kind of more of a darker color. I wanted to lighten it up in this room, and so we are just going to be adding a little closet space. I forgot to add like a dresser or a closet into the bros room. I'm just deeming it the bros room now. And so since I was like, oh, it's a book for like, this room's for a bookworm, I might as well add some bookshelves into this room. And so maybe they got their love 4 books from their abuela. And so I'm just going to be adding a few more pictures into this space, and since I'm using a lot of Jungle Adventure, I really want to use the floor-length mirror. Can we please get some more floor-length mirrors in The Sims? Thank you for listening. Okay, and now back to the build. So I thought since I'm giving the kid and the toddler like their own special playroom, I would give the teens something, and so I decided to give them like a balcony space where they can be with their friends. I put some musical instruments out here, so maybe they have like a common interest of music. I also put a art easel that you can see now, but this is not yet. Okay, so you can see the art easel, but I also have a lot of art easels in the front of the house, so maybe one of them's like has a little bit of an interest in painting, but one of their parents is like a master painter, and so they don't really want to show a lot of their art because they're a little bit afraid of what their parent would say. And so now we are in the office space, which I think is very sparse because it literally just has this desk, chair, computer, and then a woodworking table, and that's literally the only things in here. But it's a big house, and so I was trying to put things everywhere so nothing would feel empty. So maybe a woodworking table next to a computer isn't like the strangest thing in this house, but I was kind of running a little bit out of options to put things, and so this corner just ends up being another little sitting area. But first we are going to be adding some plants on to this like overhang part. So underneath of that plant there is like another entrance to get to the pool. I really wanted to have like a plant like section of the house because I always want to use like these like big plants that like always like go into the wall, and so I'm like, oh, this would be perfect, so I don't have to like adjust the plants so that they're not like poking through the like the adjacent room. And so we are now in the kids' bedroom. I'm going to be using the bed from the Dream Home Decorator pack, and so I was imagining the toddler and the kid to be very decisive. The parents would be like, oh, you want this in your room? We can make that happen. And so there is like kitty wallpaper in the bathroom. I don't record any of the bathrooms because, like I said earlier in the video, this is a big house, and so I decided to do all the bathrooms before I started to record. And so now we are just going to be adding a little rug because all of these rooms either have tile or hardwood, and so I wanted to make sure there is a little like comfy spot in a way for the Sims. And so now we are just working on this little like elevated like play place. It has a little doll house and a toy chest, and now we are just working on like a media station or like TV corner for the Sims. And so now we are just going to be adding some seating and a penguin TV. So this space is very coming together. I want to add these like poofs from the Snowy Escape pack and making them fun and playful. Maybe the sim is into void critters, so we are just going to be finishing up the playroom and going to be going into the toddler room. And so I was trying to keep the toddler's room kind of small and a little bit simple just because there is like a whole entire play wonderland next to this room, and I didn't stop me from adding a toddler slide into the toddler's bedroom just because I thought it would be kind of funny. I thought these parents be very like give you these kids whatever they want, and so I do actually have a second staircase. You might have seen it in the living room, but it like is like at the very it's like at the front of this door, and so I was thinking it might be easier for like the abuela to like help the parents out and like take the toddler to a nap and stuff like that. And so we're just going to be adding some butterflies going into the toddler's room, and you're going to be adding a ball pit into the kitchen area. And so we are getting close to the end of the video. If you are interested in playing in this house, the information will be down in the description, and I hope you enjoyed watching. We are just going to be adding a few more details, and I hope to see you all next week for another Sims 4 video. Bye!